Let's get this thing going. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you guys want to support my brand, it's inspired by dreams shop. And we have everything from hoodies, snapbacks, unisex fits. Everything is in there for you to get your drip on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My good people, we all here. Okay. Much love, blessings, blessings. Well, I want to start it off with the healing energy goes out to Quincy Jones. We all know as we just hearing that he passed at 91 years old. And you know, with guys like Quincy, they have accomplished so much in this world. And even though we might not see them through like on the day to day, their work, we hear it a lot through other people and the people that they inspired and the people that, you know, they worked with, especially Michael Jackson, you know. So Quincy, his work will be here forever. So rest in peace and healing energy goes out to his family, Quincy Jones. But boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. I got a few things to break down for you this morning, and I'm just hoping y'all feeling good in energy, man. It's a whole lot, you know. Like I always tell you guys, it's happening, but at the same time, we are aware of the things that's yet to come, and we just taking everything as we go. So you know, rest in peace to Quincy Jones. And remember that story that I told you guys, you know, the lady committing, you know, when she jumped off of Niagara Falls. I looked more into it, and from what I'm hearing, it's up to the point where the information is saying that she pushed the kids first and then jumped off after. And I think that we need more healing for the people out there that's dealing with these social issues as far as like family issues and things at home, so it doesn't have to get to that point. It's a sad thing, and those poor little kids, you know, they didn't even know, and mother was just going through a lot. And you know, it's not to point the finger at anybody because it just turns out to be a whole sad situation, but you never want to get to the point where you're just ready to self-destruct. That is not the one thing you want to do. Self-destruct, any type of destruction is not what you want to do in these times. Sometimes you got to take the hit and just go about your business or move along until you get a time to where you can throw your own hits back. And yeah, man, so rest in peace to her and the family. That was a sad thing. That I'm all for that now, because that thing will raise your anxiety, your blood pressure go all the way up in the air. And speaking on blood pressure, just really quick, I wanted to let you guys know something, that if you guys haven't been paying attention, or if you heard here and there, you know, battle rap dealing with some issues right now that I'm seeing that a lot of problems with. It's like a structure issue, especially with money, artists getting paid. But over the weekend, one of the battle rappers, he threw a separate event outside of battle rap, and it was a boxing event, you know, kind of bringing some extra dough. And so his name was Suge. Suge, he's a real dope battle rapper. But one thing that I really want to highlight about the event, with a lot of things that happened there, that it just gives a wake-up call to our community and a wake-up call just for everybody out there. And we're talking about health. Now, before this, what the artists didn't know, even though they was about to fight, is that there was going to be a doctor there to check their blood pressure and just check to see if they were ready to go into the ring. And a few of those people couldn't go into the ring because of high blood pressure. And I say that to say this: you got to check your health. Even me myself, sometimes I can get to the point where you don't want to hear bad news. But you have to always check your health, especially with anxiety. Anxiety raises your blood pressure, so it skyrockets. And when it comes to battle rap and things like that, some of those guys, they have to, you know, they're just looking at our community. You know, some people might be overweight, some people might be dealing with health issues on the side. So just saying you want to box doesn't necessarily could be the best thing for you, whether somebody's paying you a lot of money or whatever. Because boxing and fighting and doing all of that type of stuff, if you're not healthy or you're not trained, these are the things that you can pass out and you know, pass out in the ring. It's not just because you see people doing it on TV, you see Floyd Mayweather or the big guys those guys train for years and years and years. Their bodies are conditioned and healthy enough to go in there and fight. So us as regular people, if you're not checking up on your health, you're not realizing that you could put yourself, you will die on camera and not even know that was coming to you. It's sad, but it's the truth. So a lot of people that wanted to box couldn't box because when they showed up and the doctors checked them, they had high blood pressure. So that's just one thing I wanted to say. But I feel like when it comes to battle rap, and you can't really, sports is a very tricky thing to mix when it comes to any establishments. You'll see a lot of people mix sports in their establishment when it comes to like promotion and things, getting eyes on whatever they're doing. But if you want to like, start your own sport or bring sports or make your own league, these are things that a lot of people don't know. There's a lot that surrounds that before the fight even goes down. There's a lot of drugs that could be involved. There's a lot of things that surround that. And I don't know, man. It looks like it could be something, but it's a lot more that has to go into structure in it than just having people come down and fight each other. So I hope they get that together, and hopefully everything will turn out all right with that. Another thing, let's just keep it on battle rap real quick. I know I started off with battle rap. We're gonna get to a lot of stuff today. But another thing, Smack, if you guys know the Smack URL League, they was promoting their card, they was doing a battle, and they was getting bootlegs, so they cut down the pay-per-view. And it says a lot. A lot of people, in these times, not a lot of people have it to be subscribed to different services and subscribe to this and that. But if you do want to support the battle rappers, and it's really, when you bootleg it, they don't really, it's really hurting the culture when you do things like that. And it's sad, but at the same point, it's more like battle rap has to come to a point where people are being compensated the right amount for the right, they have to just get their values and just organize it a little bit better and know, who earns what and where things go. As far as the pay-per-view and bootlegging, I feel like the culture is big enough where they don't have to really pay too much attention to that. But if they're losing money, they will only know on the back end. If it's losing a lot of money, yeah, that's something that you can't do that. It'd be, like I always say, be your own people. And you just gotta, it's a league. Just pay for the ticket if you want to see the battle, so you can support the battle rappers you love. You don't have to get every ticket, but there's tickets out there. If you feel like you want to support, always support. That's the best thing I can say with that. Now, on a good note, some good love. I see Judge Mathis, him and his wife, they got it back together, and they're not doing the divorce. So that just made me feel good, that it just goes to show the people that, no, good love. You sometimes you fuss, sometimes you fight, but at the end of the day, you get back together and you make it work, and try to remember the things that brought you guys together and the love that you guys once, loved each other for. Try to, rekindle that and bring it back, make it a flame again, make it a flame again. So I'm happy to hear that. Another thing I wanted to touch on, another rapper, Bankroll Freddie, they gave him 12 years in prison. Not only did they throw the book at him, but they threw the whole bookshelf at him, man. Rappers have to understand that if you're doing any crimes, I believe he got caught with, I believe it's weapon possession. And that's a hard thing too. It's in between with the weapon possession, because they are in a place where they have to protect themselves because of their job and the things that they're, the people they're around. But at the end of the day, if the weapons are illegal and things like that, any scratch, look, all of that stuff will get you in trouble. You don't want to live that lifestyle. It's a dead end street. Yeah, you make a whole bunch of money, but at the end of the day, if you're going to end up in prison for 12 years of your life, within those 12 years, you never know what can happen to you, especially in times where the food is not as its best. And prison, people are we'll get into Diddy later, but in prison, you never know if you can make it out. It's easy to get yourself to go in there, but it's hard to get yourself out of there. So it's sad, but more and more we see more rappers getting involved in themselves in other things outside of the culture, and it falls back on the culture. It's crazy. It's very crazy, man. Even look, YNW Melly, he's complaining about his jail conditions, and he's saying that they're trying to break him mentally. Well, from what I hear, and guys that I know that have been in prison, I have friends in prison right now, and the conditions were never there to uplift you. That's not the place where you're gonna get uplifted. That's something you have to do on your own. When you hear people like put in the box and things like that, those are things that they have set in place to break you mentally, yes. So yes, you realize that you're in a position where you can be broken mentally, but at the same point, don't think you're the only one. There's time and time again we hear these a lot of prison stories. People tell that they weren't really been treated right. And not everybody in prison is somebody is, and it's not everybody in prison a criminal either. I'm seeing a lot more people in the prison that's ended up in these situations, and it's not really their fault. So, especially when it comes to things like RICO, where they're pulling groups of people in, you don't know what the hell is going on in there. So when he says things like, they're trying to break him mentally, not only he's in a bad position for the type of crime that he's in there for, he's not going to have an easy ride with this. We know it. We know this. Much love, y'all. It's to tell me again why Ludacris was holding Quincy Jones' hand. Luda was holding Quincy Jones' hand. Well, I don't know if I'm just guessing off the top of my head. Quincy, it looked like his vision, he was because he was an older guy. His vision, maybe he was trying to help him or something. Like I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't really. I did hear things in the past, but I can't fix my mouth to speak, bad on that man, and he passed away. But as far as Ludacris, he was well liked in the industry. Quincy Jones, he had his ways, but he wrote a lot of hits. So I gotta respect the man. A lot of the music that he wrote for Michael Jackson are like some of my favorite songs, and a lot for many other artists. So when it comes to him and a lot of this industry, I can't knock whatever you guys are saying either, because I respect the fact that you're just trying to, you're being honest as well. There's other sides to look at it, but it's just in this time and right now in the situation that I don't really want to jump into that. But let's say outside of Quincy, but Diddy, in his situation, I'm hearing now that they had to do a whole prison sweep because they had guns and that type of stuff inside the prison, and the conditions were bad. These are things you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to deal with it. I don't care if you come from the worst of poverty. You still have a chance to make better of yourself. You still have a chance to figure it out, come up with your own blueprint. These people are trapped. No matter where they go, they're still there. They're not trapped mentally, but they were mentally trapped when they was outside here anyway. That's what put them in these positions. So whatever's going on in the industry, like I tell you, the karma is real. The karma isn't hovering over the hip hop industry, and a lot of people, we're seeing weird stuff happen. So I don't know what to connect it to. I don't know to tell you if, these are people that did something to people in the past and things are happening. All I can tell you from face value, from what I'm hearing, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. Not only that, did you guys hear also with the Diddy that now, allegedly somebody seen Jennifer Lopez on those tapes. And that's crazy, because at the end of the day, let's not point fingers at Jennifer Lopez. This has nothing to do with her, even though it has something to do with her. Because she might have not even known she was being taped. Diddy was so anxious and he did so much. I remember the time when he was dating her, he was just like all over the place. Like a guy is just like, he losing himself just because so she probably didn't even know that she got taped. And the stupid craziness about it is, it's not the full fact of you're taping, because you never know if people are, in conversation of agreement of this, but most likely not dealing with his situation. And you're showing people. So what are you showing other people for? Why are you showing other women and other men what you did with her? Is that to prove your masculinity because you were sleeping with men? Is that just to show off? Because what you're doing is you're taking it's hurting her, because now when she walks around people are looking at her and she doesn't even know what's going on because he's being a kid about it. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. And I knew other whoever slept with him probably, they're probably on eggshells knowing, they probably dealt with the man, and he probably has everybody he slept with on tape. So that's crazy. And the craziness of that is him showing it around like, it's like the new thing going. It's like, I don't know. So that's the industry. It's crazy. There's parts and times in the industry where we can appreciate, like, shouts out to PSA Reloaded. If you guys haven't seen his channel, I watch his channel. Really dope dude. He had an interview with Method Man, and it was really, really dope. It's always good to see our legends and them in the right headspace and just wanting to do more and more with hip hop. And Method Man is one of those people that he took himself and he not only became a legend in the industry, but he also went out and also explored different things and showing people that you can act and you can do different things, and there's no time limit on hip hop or your success, or you just have to come truthful and authentic and people will feel you for who you are. And that's the reason why I feel like the best lessons, the best things to teach are learning from the people that already went through it, and you can see the blueprints that they laid down, and you don't have to copy it, but have some kind of understanding like, nah, you know what? He's showing me that he made a legend of himself here, and then he took himself and still continued on. There's more life, there's more to go, there's more things to do, and that's how you have to feel about your life. You can't just look at it and say, when I get to this certain point, I'm going to stop. You don't know what stopping is. Stopping is not what we are supposed to do. We're supposed to keep going in everything we do. There's many people out here, they just going and going and going, but at least they ain't stopping, because when you stop, people think you're crazy. So keep going and keep doing the best you can in the spaces you are, and then from there you'll find the best things that you can do, and then start applying that back to yourself. And you start getting to know that, learning yourself is the best person to learn. Instead of figuring out what all the wrongs these other people are doing and all the bad they did to people, try to find out like the whys and and the hows. Those are the solutions. Instead of just doing the pointing, because we can point at everybody. Everybody can go through something crazy, but at the end of the day, we have to have some solutions for these people. I have some more, I have so many. Another thing, did you guys get a chance to see, I believe it was in Miami. Mayweather was walking with his security, and a guy was just passing by, and then the security kind of like walked up to like the guy in the car. Now, first of all, that's all wrong, because the guy had, I think they said he had like a Draco, he had the weapons on him. But at the end of the day, it's like, is that your security? Fire that guy. Because number one, you don't approach somebody. You see somebody passing by and they're alerted because it's Floyd Mayweather. It's not like he's some regular Joe Schmo boxer. And they see him for the first time and the security's approaching them in some getaway. You're causing friction and the aggression. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter how many securities you have, billionaires, trillionaires. Once somebody has a pistol or some kind of Draco or whatever, there's no way you could have got him, you're the celebrity that you're supposed to be bodyguarding, in trouble. Life has changed. It's no more, you think that you can bite the bullet with your teeth, but you can't. We're all human, and I think the best bulletproof that we could all have and carry with us is respect. Having some kind of respect for other people and respecting their space, respecting who they are, and they respecting who you are. Now, if he's the type of brother that go around showing disrespect to his own people, then he might get that aggression wherever he go. But if he's over there on the phone and then the bodyguard is running up to the cars telling him to move away, the bodyguard's wrong for going in there and approaching people. Who do you think you are? Those are people too. Just like he's enjoying his vacation, they're enjoying their vacation. So you got to be very careful of the people you got around you. Sometimes people want to put in the work when the work is not needed to be put in. And put yourself in more. Don't you know the more problems, the more money you got to spend? Biggie said that. Rest in peace, man. The more money, the more problems. And that's true, but it's not the fact that you say, I don't want more money, but it's saying the more money I get, I have to know how to handle these problems. Don't you see like the structure of hip hop breaking because of this? Because people feel like, oh, this is what I'm worth, this is what I'm worth, this is what I'm worth, this is what I got to do. They turn into this hustle man. Everybody's a hustle man, hustle superwoman. That's not how you're supposed to live. You got to live beyond that. You have to live and slow yourself down. Pace yourself. Realize the things that mean the most to you, and those will be the things that God open your eyes to see that you'll do effortlessly. You don't have to write it down or wait for like these other people and take it and put it all together. You don't have to do that, or like the chat GPT and all that nonsense. You don't have to do that. Once it comes from here, it will connect with the people. If it comes from one of these internet things, it don't connect with anybody. It just goes in the air. Anybody can grab that and talk about the same situation. But when you tell it from here and how you feel, that's how you connect with people. Don't you know there's a lot of, if you really look what right now, the bulk of the money, and it's not even really that much, you guys, to be honest with you, entertainers are not making more than the technology is. Technology is pulling in billions per week. But still, they shine down on entertainers because the reason why entertainers they have people's attention. So they want to use the entertainers as a marketing tool. But the entertainers are waking up to and realizing, no, you're not going to market me to my people to sell them poison so they can point the finger back at me. So people are speaking up. And that's why God is good, because God is going to touch the hearts of people that want to do right by people. And eventually you'll see the weight of the scale will start tipping after a while. You see good people like myself trying to come in and give y'all all we got and from our heart, because we see a lot of negative energy going around. And it's in people's minds. It's in people's minds to be that way. I refuse to be that way. I couldn't be that way and have that negative mindset and try to grow a company or even try to connect with you guys. I can't do that. I have anxiety. If my blood pressure goes to the roof, I can't perform the way I want to. Yeah, sometimes I get mad, and sometimes I just don't understand what's going on. But at the same point in time, always reflect back on the things that got me to this point. Like, yeah, I did something. I did something. And you got to know the things that you do, even if nobody else points and gives you your flowers. You grow your own flowers yourself. Because your soil is what's going to grow the best for you. Their soil ain't going to grow your flower at the time that you want it. You have to put your own soil down and you plant your own seeds, and it will grow for yourself. And then I'll move over and I'll put my seed next to yours, and they put their seed next to theirs, and that's how everybody becomes one, and we all a family. But if you look at it the way they're looking at it, it's like a more of like, I got to get this, I got to get that. That's not the way to look at it. There's no price tag on helping people or uplifting people. There's no price tag on that stuff. The other stuff that they want you to subscribe and all that nonsense, there's price tags on that stuff. So when your pockets are empty and your mind is frustrated, who is there to help you? It's not going to be the people that got all the big tons of money. No, it's not going to be them. It's going to be the people that been through the same damn thing as you. So don't let these people tell you how it's supposed to be. You just got to realize what they're going through. You might be able to help them too. Celebrities need help too. You might see it wrong in them and just think that that's the right way. But if you know better, you're like, you know what? You shouldn't have said that. Or don't do that. You don't abide by that. You let them know that there's value in the listener as well as value in the artist. We're all human. And once you find that value in yourself, you'll realize, no, I'm not going to put my money into somebody that's going to be tearing down the community with the words that they said just because they want to make a few dollars. No, I'm going to put my money into the guy like the Kendrick Lamar or the Rhapsody that's trying to build community and trying to open people's minds up to something different. Yeah, I'm gonna support that, whether you like it or not. Because at the end of the day, supporting the other stuff is even if you give these people tons of money and they come from these places, they're putting themselves in jail quicker or being addicted to things quicker. That's just how life works. It doesn't matter how much money you get. The more money you get, the quicker it is to your demise if you're not doing the right thing with it. Don't you know if you have a whole bunch of money and you have bad eating habits, you'll kill yourself quicker. It'll only take 85 bars of chocolate to kill you. So imagine all the other stuff they put in the food. If it only probably take two sips of these stuff. Nowadays, everything is getting to the point quicker. That's how fentanyl and all that got these people going tripping. So you got to be very careful. You know how many big restaurants now are closing down because their food contaminated and they got to do pullbacks? You know the reason why? You got to learn how to cook it for yourself in these times. Because if you don't cook it for yourself, you never know what them people put in it. And when I say them people, I mean wicked people. There's no color to that. Just say red. And not only that, Halloween, could y'all believe this is crazy? And I thought about it and I sat with it. Tell me if y'all with me on this. In Halloween, they found razors in some of the candy. Now that razors and candies was something that been talked about for years and years to come. I think that's somebody older. An older person put that in that because of their problems, and they put the razors in the candy. That's why, but you got to check really what you're supposed to do is not let your kids eat the damn candy. You're supposed to have the candy for your kids and say, I'm going to check them, and then you switch them up. Everybody buys the same candy. But don't let them eat them people candy that they put out there for you to eat, because you never know if them, you don't talk to them people. So why you knocking on them people door for? Don't knock on them people door and ask them to put something in your kid's mouth. Are you crazy or something? This is not the fairy tales. We are living in America right now in 2024. You don't take them people candy and put it down your kid's mouth. Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind? You don't know these people. They don't love. Yo, trust me. Don't. Let me tell you, the people you love, your kids, you got to be cautious. You got to be extra cautious in these times. I'm telling you, man. Be very careful of the people that's around you and around the people you love. Them people, they know what's your heart. They know what can get to your heart, and they'll damage it just to hurt you. It's crazy out here. Another thing I wanted to bring to you guys, because I'm not, look, listen, when it comes to New York, Chicago, it doesn't matter where you're from. Drill, rap, the drill energy, it is killing people and making people do things that's just unexpected. Out here, a drill rapper out here, I believe his name is Dougie B. I never heard of this guy, to be honest with you. I've never heard of him. He allegedly, can I say he shot his, I believe he allegedly shot his father and son over some money. I believe he was like robbing his neighbor type of thing. And he shot a father and son over some money. So I guess he was breaking and entering. Maybe that sounds like a home invasion, and he was trying to break in. And what people don't understand is people have families. When you're breaking into somebody's house, don't think that there's not kids around. So now you're just trumping up these charges. Because how could you, what was so much, what did they have in that house that made you say, you know what, I don't care what, I'm going to kill anybody in there, father and son. What made you do that? Like, what did you get what you wanted? What was it? Or did you run out and leave your whatever evidence back that you're gonna get caught and you got caught? What made you do that? Like, why'd you, like, some of these crimes I don't understand, like, why people do this. Like, when you break into somebody's home, what is just like a random? You think they have a surprise in there for you? People are trying to live their life. This ain't like reality shows where when you walk in my house, you're at the bedroom's like from here to down the block, and they got a bunch of clothes lined up with jewelry in here. I don't got that for you. You're not gonna find that. You're not gonna find that nonsense. What are you looking for that you're gonna take a father and son's life? These are people that's mentally messed up in their head. And the material things, not only the things that they only know, but that's the only things that they value. They don't even value themselves. So expecting them to do the right thing with a weapon or whatever mindset they have, you lost. You lost. These are the triggers. You have to see these people in your neighborhoods and know how to point these people out before they can climb through somebody's window. That's the problem with our culture. We can't trust each other, so we can't police ourselves. And it was a different structure, when it coming up, and it was more structure in everybody's neighborhoods, where there's certain things you couldn't do. There's certain things you couldn't get away with. Anything over the top, man, I don't even know if y'all knew where y'all from, but around here was like, it's the TT. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can't sell no drugs, nothing. You can't do nothing. If you get caught on them days, that's your ass. That's how it was going in NYC. From here to 109, everywhere. You just had to know what was going on. If you didn't know the beat of the street, you was in trouble. All the fools that thought they was going to get extra money, that tried to serve people on them days, was all getting caught, locked up, and they was doing cycles and cycles and cycles and cycles, man. The game don't change. It's just the people. I don't see why they fall into these traps that's been set. These are things that you like, I'm not going down that route. There's too many other hustles out there for you to have to go to take from somebody or whatever they work hard for and they get. No matter even if they're buying the right or wrong things, that ain't none of your business. If they want to buy 100 watches, let them buy the 100 watches. The only lesson in that is if they lose those 100 watches, that's when we got a lesson for them. But if they want to buy 100 watches, why you stopping people from doing what they want to do? Why are you climbing through somebody's window to take what? Take to people's lives? 2 people, the father and son. Like, what kind of monster are you? Then they end up in these places. where like Diddy and 6ix9ine and what's the guy name? Freddie, Bankroll Freddie, and they're stuck. Don't you see the smile on Young Thug's face? He's out right now. God bless him. Because all he's talking about, if I was him, I wouldn't really. The social media, I think you did it a little too quick. You jumped on here. You don't even know how the temperature of social media. You're stepping on here and you don't know that you can step on a landmine. You can step on a landmine. Because number one, there's people with AI. I would stay off of social media and make sure everything outside is in well standards, because I'm gonna have 15 years to not get myself or put myself around anybody or any trouble that can get me back in that place for 40 or whatever years they had set for him. So I would lay low for that, but the smile on his face and just him trying to, it looks like he just wants to go back to the thing he loves, and that's doing music. That's from what I see, and I'm hoping that he doesn't make no mistakes, and I ain't wishing him to make no mistakes, but the smartest thing to do, and I understand why he wanted to get with Gunna. Gunna makes good music. Off the back, I'll tell you the truth. Gunna make good music. I would, if I to give him like a word of advice with Gunna, you could become one of the greats if you just added more substance, because you have a nice sound and you got good ear for music as far as the beats. Put a little more substance and get into a little more detail and get people more concentrated on your life and in a more personal, and take the party out of it and use the party as like how structure the party as your singles. Like, that's going to be my single, that's my club joint. Because if you look in the past, as far as like the music that came from the past, it was more structured. It had more structure to it. They knew where the outlets they were giving their music out to. And I want all the MCs that's coming up, don't think hip hop is from, it's from these people make it look like it's from up here. No, hip hop is from down here. It's from the places you guys came from, the struggles you guys came up. They went through all of that. And sometimes it might not look like you could have a place to run to say like, oh, where's hip hop at? Because you see so many people just doing it themselves. But there is a part of hip hop where that you have to hold some value in yourself and value in your penmanship. Don't ever let somebody else write your rhymes for you. I don't care if people calling you a legend or whatever. Never ever let somebody write your rhymes for you. You never do that. You always stick to your pen, whether you figure it out. Whether you might, the reason why you feel like you're not writing, you might have some kind of flow in your head, but it's all about the words. The words is going to make your music different than anybody else's. Stop worrying about the flow or what so-and-so did or how so-and-so sound. Never ever let somebody write and use your ink for you. That's your story. That's your art. Don't ever do that. Don't ever fall victim to that, because people will do that and then they have this whole business surrounded around you and people throwing you songs, this and that. After a while, you get lost in entertainment. You don't want to ever be that way. Hip hop don't come from, you just penning it up for somebody, because you're telling your story. Everybody's story is authentic to them. That's what makes the culture so original. When these other people look in and take from the culture, they just take the things that they feel that got profit to it. But then people don't know that the real diamonds is not all just the people that's on the billboards. You see, they don't realize that. Yeah, we got some that we champion that hit the billboards, but a lot of the real artists that would, the real people that we really held dear in our hearts, there's some of the people that you might not see on it every day or hear on it every day, but we play their music back and forth behind the scenes. Don't get it twisted. Hip hop is still alive outside of this whole blur of what's been going on. That's why when they asked Method Man about Diddy, I said, I'm like, why you ask? Do y'all even follow hip hop? You never asked the Wu about no Diddy. Are you crazy? You never don't ask nobody from the Wu about Diddy. They all hip hop. How would they know about Diddy? They threw their own parties, did their own thing. So the Wu was in Japan and doing things. You can look at certain crews and see where they took their music. They didn't have to take from these people and drug people. No, you can't drug a person that's already drugged. No, they're not taking from people. So understand who in the culture was taken and who's what. You never ask Method Man about something like that. He don't have to answer that. You have respect, because that's the Wu-Tang. They don't do shit like that. And that's the reason why you have to do your history on hip hop so you can have the respect for it. You got to know that there's people that out here and that was really carving the culture out to what it is today. And then there's people out here that wasn't really caring about the carving it. They was just taking the money out of it. The more they did that, or the more they fell victim to bad paperwork and all that stuff, the more they stopped caring about it. So when the culture started going down, they ran as fast as they could, while these other companies paid them for the name that they just basically had for the last bit of it. But that ain't the way to leave it, though. You don't do that. You gotta make sure that the structure and the things that you put in place, leave your statues in the culture so people can read and study you guys that left these monumental times and things like that. Because if not, then what will happen? People going to turn it and do whatever they want with it. You see, they're already putting into the elections and politics and this and that. So now you have to take more control and know that you are worth something. You don't think you ain't worth nothing. You're worth something. But make sure the words ain't out there. I see people complaining with I see people complaining and I see people cheering with the Cardi B. But you got to understand, like, it's not about just us. It's about how they look at us and what they think we can do. And the more they can't connect with us like we connect with us, they can't do that. They can only find different conversations and try to implement it. But in your heart, if you feel like somebody's lying to you, just know. No matter what anybody's saying around you, you got to have a mind of your own. You got to think for yourself. Like, wait, I don't feel good about that. But you know what? Sometimes your vote or your pick is not really all about you. Sometimes it's for the better of everybody. And sometimes it could be for everybody else. That's just how life works. Because for me, y'all look at the channel, it's not like I'm a big YouTuber, a bunch of things like that. But me, my message is worth more than the money. So I don't have to say, damn, I'm not getting, no. My message would translate as time would go. If anything should happen, anything should happen as my journey, y'all would know to go back and you still have a little blueprint for yourselves to say, you know what, I don't have to look at it like this. That's the difference. That's the difference. But big, rest in peace, Biggie Smalls, man. I hear a lot of new talks on what it could or could not be, but I don't want to point the finger when it comes down to murder and all that type of stuff. I don't really want to, unless you got some evidence. But it's sad. It's sad that greed could make a person say, you know what, F him and do it for the money. That's the type of stuff you gotta watch people like that. Watch people that's just in it for the money and they don't have no structure about or love on anything, because those are the people you be around those people. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. Up to this day, I told you, even with battle rap, I told you up to this point, there got to be some kind of millionaire battle rapper. They got to build these people up to millionaires. You got to want your people to win. You got to want your people to win. Even if they're making mistakes, talking too much, don't worry about none of that. Them winning is going to look bigger because you made them win. You made them get all the way up to the millionaires. You don't look at it like that. Sometimes the boss take a loss. That's just how it go. That's just the fight. That's just the fight. People don't see that behind the scenes. When you have a company and people complaining about your products, you don't think the boss take a loss? Or you gonna throw that down on the workers and burn the workers out? Then you ain't gonna get no good job. You don't even get no good products. So you got to figure it out and have a balance in how you look at things and how you intake things, because people are lost out here. People are looking for leadership in the wrong places. That's what I see. I've seen people get fed a bunch of mumbo jumbo and they're over there like, yeah, that's going to put you down in a hole. Listen to the people, even though it sounds crazy. Listen to the people that say, worry about your mental health. Worry about that. Once you have this, you can look at a situation completely different. What you think is worth something could be worth nothing in your mind. Any material thing can't hurt this. If this is strong enough, no matter what come across, it don't matter. Because your value is within you, not within whatever you got to buy to make people look at you. It's crazy. But it's that simple. It's not about you not wanting to get this or not wanting to get that. But look at the people who care about us. It's only us. It's only all we got is us. So if we don't start caring about each other, who else we got? Who we got? You gonna believe in somebody behind a microphone and some big speakers? Come on, man. Come on, man. We can do better than that. You know, one thing that touched my heart too. What do y'all think about this whole Lil Wayne? Because now I didn't know he was taking it on that type of energy. I didn't know. I just felt like Kendrick in these times, as far as his accomplishments. Look, guys, this is not like something you have to build up to get there. This was more of a pick. They say Jay-Z had hands in picking, and I felt his decision was basically based upon us and how we were reacting. It wasn't really based upon, I don't even think he made the decision on him, like, based upon what he thought about it. I think he really made that decision of picking Kendrick Lamar based upon us and how the temperature of the culture was going. Kendrick was doing his thing, and like always. And at that time, the whole Drake, everything, all of these could have came into play of him being the one to be on those stages, his music, all of these things he can fit the bill for. But on the other end, it's kind of like when Lil Wayne says, yo, I've been ripped off all this time, man, it dug deep. That's Lil Wayne's stomping grounds. Now we gotta show some respect now. That Lil Wayne is not just, he's not just like a regular rapper now. Lil Wayne is a legend, man. The guy is really, really big. He's a big, big legend. He's like a big, big legend. But we know along the way, Lil Wayne might have lost himself throughout the drugs and things like that, but he caught himself back. It's not like he's not on them stages. I've just seen him perform the dopest concert with the Hot Boys. Once you have people around you that love you, they're not going to let you fall. So it doesn't matter if they got to hold you behind you with your shirt up. It doesn't matter. Once the good people are around you, it's not. So when he said that, he's been ripped for that spot, that felt some kind of way. I thought they had worked it out. Because remember I told you guys that, Wayne and the guys, they're going to be doing the parade outside of the venue. That's before it. So I thought that, they worked it out. But now it's looking like, nah, that's more like, no, we're going to be outside anyway doing this because y'all ripped me off of this. So if he feel that way and that's his hometown and the people out, let me hear what New Orleans, let me hear what the hometown feel. If the hometown say we don't want Kendrick to perform there, then listen, Trump, you got to go that way because what do you want people to do? You don't disrespect people's hometown. If people are inviting you in, you can't. And to me, y'all gonna hate my answer. My answer is both of them perform together, but people can't even unite because there's other business put in place. And I'm pretty sure these artists, Kendrick Lamar, ain't had nothing to do with this. He's sitting back like, yo, I haven't spoke a word yet, and everybody's pulling me here and pulling me there. Well, that's when you're big, and that's what happens. Even when you don't say anything, people are going to put your name into it. It's social media. But at the end of the day, I feel like, man, I feel bad, Wayne. But Wayne, you have to also understand that Kendrick did a lot. Why can't he get his spot? It's in your hometown. I wish he could have took it in a better way. That's the best thing I can say. I wish he could have took it in a better way. But being that he put that friction in between and says, no, I feel like I'm ripped off, it's sad. That's crazy. I don't know. I didn't want Wayne to look at it like that, but Wayne don't lie, you guys. Everybody know Wayne is a sports guy. He's a sports guy. He's a sports guy in New Orleans. I don't know what New Orleans is saying. I don't know what if they're saying in New Orleans, no, we want to see Wayne. Won't that feel a little weird? Even if I was Kendrick Lamar, I would have felt weird, like, oh, okay, they want Wayne to be on stage. Let me try to implement him or something because because Kendrick is not the type of guy. He's not. I'm pretty sure he looks at Lil Wayne as a legend too. He's not the type of guy that wants to step on people's toes. I've never seen that energy about him. I'm figuring this whole thing is out. This is business fighting business. This has nothing to do with the artist. It has nothing to do with the artist. Because both of these artists, they already had big opportunities. It's not like they need more eyes on them. It's the Super Bowl. I don't see why they can't work it out. That's why I say when you come together, it makes things way better. Just because they giving me a few dollars and they got me up on stage, don't mean I can't hit you with a few dollars because you my man and you come on stage too. It's just bringing it together instead of putting this friction up, because at the end of the day, them people came there to watch football. Them people ain't going to be going there to see no rappers rap. Be honest with you. I'm be honest with you. Sports ain't like that. Even though they listen to music, when on those particular days, you could not You couldn't be boxing them and they look over, man. You couldn't. They're not gonna look over, man. They're not. It's just sports. That's just how it is. It's just as looked upon. It's just as tough as far as ratings and things like that with them being there or not. So I don't know, man. When Wayne took it like that, that surprised me because I didn't think he was gonna take it like that. I'm like, oh wow, he feels like he got robbed. He got ripped off. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, there's many concerts that people have thrown in other people. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I know from what I know is traveling and doing like as far as like business in other people's areas. It's not, and it sounds so crazy to say because it's not really even their area. The reality of that is, if somebody's has an opportunity. Don't the way Wayne took it. I don't know. I don't know what to say with it. I just don't know what to say. I'm a little confused. I got to really get back to that because I don't want to point. It's not Kendrick's fault. What, are you gonna blame the man for making his music and getting his flowers that he was supposed to get from years ago? Come on now. I'm not no fool. I'm not an idiot. Damn. I would make him pay even extra for if they wanted me to perform that song too. It's ridiculous. I mean, everything doesn't have to be a fight to make some money. Like that's not. Don't make that the thing. Don't make that a thing because we already know that doesn't get us anywhere. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely nuts. Let me see. I have. You know what I wanted to show? Hold on. I have something for you. I have a video I'm gonna be posting. I'll probably drop it for tonight at 12. Oh, back to the, as far as, with the election and thing, I like, I'm not gonna just stay too long on it, but I would say in these times, everything feels like a reality show. Everything feels like a reality show. It feels like everybody wants to get their word out, and it's them or nothing. And I'm just hoping that you guys are prepared. The after effect when it's all over, we still got to get back to what we're getting back to. Still got to make things work, man. I had oh, you know what? I seen something else too. It was dealing. I think I'm gonna do it in another live. Though it was talking about like the smartphones and things like that, and how people the time that you put into your phone. I think that should be. Once you start figuring out the time you put into things, that's when you start organizing your life a little better. Not even I don't even have that all the way down. I don't have it all the way down. I don't. Sometimes my life can be so scattered because things that's going on. It's just so much. Sometimes that's why anxiety does it. Things just be racing, and you try to hold on to the things that you want to do now, and then the other things you just let it go and maybe try to catch back up to it. But sometimes that's just how I feel, man. That's just how I feel. Stop hearing about Diddy until May. That's what it looked like because now people got videotapes of what Jennifer Lopez. Are you crazy? So he was taping everybody he was having sex with, male and female included. But everybody's so loose with the mouth, so quick to tell the females and who he slept with the females. They better start naming some of the males he slept with because that's people really have their ears open to. We really want to know because it not only does it says a lot, it's going to be, even though it might hurt at first, it might be healing for those guys out there and, the rappers or whoever he did this to because they probably was looking like, yo, why did he do that to me? Because there's going to be a lot of people in court. We won't get to see it because they don't have it closed off. But when I heard that he's showing people these tapes too, so people saw these tapes. It's crazy, disrespectful. The guy is out of control. And they said she liked him still. Wow. See, the whole thing is like if that's your lady, like I'm looking at it when I heard that, I'm looking at it like, okay, so you and Jennifer Lopez, they were dating. So him having sex with her, this is regular, and them, doing whatever they was doing. But now him taping it, okay, that's your personal. Okay, so these are moments in your life that you're taping. But now you showing somebody else outside of the tape. Now you going too far. You go, nah, you're going too far. You're going too far. Too far. Nah. You can't do that. You can't do that. People. Just because you slept with somebody doesn't mean that they don't have another life outside where that can be detrimental to their family and what's going on. You got to think about that. And you showing somebody famous that you're sleeping with for what? It's like, that's like some goofball stuff. That ain't no manly stuff. Showing other, that's goofball stuff. Why you showing other people, like, for what? Like, what does that prove? So you ain't had no value in yourself or self-esteem in yourself for people to know that if you're dating the person, you're sleeping with the person. What do you think, we fools? So you gotta show somebody, look, me sleeping with, like, why are you showing somebody a person you're sleeping with? And we know you can't perform because that's all in the paperwork. You had all this jelly and, I don't know, butter and all that type of stuff you had going on. I don't know what you had going on in the room, but it's obvious you couldn't perform. So why are you showing people your bad performance just because you slept with Jennifer Lopez? Or do people think that you're the only person that slept with Jennifer Lopez? And that's no disrespect to her. We're all humans. We don't just sleep with one person. We're human beings, for Christ's sakes. We gotta wake up, man. Just because they're celebrities don't mean that they're not human. Don't you think they get horny too? So that's like, you doing that is just, that's like, it gives me almost like, that's like not even high school vibes. That's like 8th grade, like, type, like you never had a girl, you ready to show, I don't know, man. It's some real weird, spooky stuff, man. I ain't never had to act that way. That's just different. That's just different. I mean, and it's just like, he had cameras all over the place, so you never know, man. They got the tapes. It's crazy. And the guy that had the tape of with the Kim Porter and, you know, the memo, he had that for a while. So people had this stuff. They probably had that. This was in their private batch. Y'all know what it is. Come on, we human. Y'all know what it is. It's nasty out there. Why you can't, like, you can keep the memory. Why you gotta, man? And you taped it and gonna show other people? What's that? You think you get? What, you get a cookie for that? Real, you gotta be very careful in these times, man. Especially with people out there, they expect something out of you that you're not willing to. You know, it's just crazy. It's nuts. And we gotta take on more leadership roles where we can treat our people right. Like we gotta see our people right. You know, sometimes helping people, and we all need help. But at the end of the day, it's something fulfilling in that, because you can't be greedy with the money, y'all. You can't be greedy. Because when we look at it, we have really no structured establishments where we can spend our money and get the full support from it. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like you're trying to look down on people and spending the money with the people that know they're going to get their money back. It don't even make sense, man. When you really see what's going on, it's just like, yo, what the hell? You just feel like, let me just pay my bills and take care, give me a little few things and try to enjoy my life. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to play this game of this like gotta be somebody that I'm not. Why, for what? And then they give you the 2 pennies, and then they're taking the 2 pennies back from you, and you have no place to stand on. Not me, never. Never, no way. I can't put myself down like that. I can't do that. I did a lot. And you have to start, and don't let nobody start wiping out. Even if you got to write down the things that you want to accomplish in your life, write them down. I told you, do not type them in your phone. Typing does not manifest anything. You have to ink, old school. Write it down, let it manifest itself. Typing it in your phone is not going to manifest anything. All that's going to do is manifest AI to throw you a bunch of commercials when you turn on your TV or open your phone again. Everything you done wrote down in your phone, they got a commercial for it. You got to be very careful. Make sure you put it on pads, because all that other stuff, they in your business. They in your business. We already know 2025, they're going to be more in your business. You talking about Diddy have sex tapes. You got to close your windows and make sure that nobody ain't peeking in to tape you in these times. Make sure your phone is off when you're making love to the one you love. Because that stuff will get on social media and paint you in a picture the wrong way. Trust me, it's dangerous out here. Don't let nobody fool y'all. Don't let nobody fool you. A lot of rappers out there, you know, a lot of them are smarting up and they're putting themselves in a position where they want to be looked at as artists, not killers, not terrorists. Because those people are ending up in jail for the rest of their life. And it's not just them. You got actors, you got people out there that I've seen a lot of people doing frauds, y'all. So many frauds taking people money, hard-earned money, and they getting caught now, spending the rest of their life in prison. It ain't just Diddy eating that dirty food. It ain't just him. It ain't just him. There's other people too. That line is long. If he don't take up his food, somebody behind him will. It's a sad life. It's a sad life. And it's not even funny because he's not the only one that's gonna go down. There's a lot of other people in the industry that's right now. Yo, there's people running till they can't run no more. Because they're caught up. They don't know. They know they was probably dealing with him, but they don't know what he was holding to get them out. So, man, the only people that's holding the industry up right now is the ladies. When you really think about it. When you really think about it, if it wasn't for the ladies right now, so the same people that they went and drug and hurt are the same people now they got to look back on to say, yo, save me. You see how life works, though? You should have knew that in the first place. You're taking advantage of people and you got millions and millions of dollars. How many millions does it take for you to look back to help somebody out that's trying to do the same thing as you? You trying to fool people? Are you crazy? How many slots do you see change? If it wasn't for podcasts, people in these radio slots would be there forever. Are you crazy? So I was happy when I seen podcasts and different people with their different opinions. That made me feel good. It made me feel that letting y'all know that y'all could do something. You don't have to listen to somebody. You know, if you have a conversation, you tell your conversation and you have it with yourself and your people because everything there filtered out. Trust me, there's people that like when you see, if somebody comes to you and they say, yo, promote this, and you don't want to promote this, but you got to promote it, they got control of you. They got control of you. There's nothing you can do. They have more stock in what you're doing and the places you are at than you do. You don't have stock in there. And that's the difference. So when you have some kind of structure, then you can start. And I'm glad more and more people are getting it. More and more people are not falling for the okie doke, man. These people out here telling people, oh, you can do this, you can do that. No, they didn't tell you that when you signed up on that, you're not going to get to that point. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you where they stumbled at. They're not going to tell you that. They just want you to paint the picture to forever look up to them like they're doing something that you can't do. You got to wake up and go out there and start working it on your own. And while you do what you do and the things that you don't know will make you come up with new things that they probably come back and try to take from you. And that's just how life works. I'm a product of ambition. Forget what these people, all my life, everything I set out to do, I've been accomplished it and I've been happy and set foot on it and did my best I can do. That's God's work. Some of these people just want to take something out of it or get something out of it. I never really wanted to get something out of anything. I always wanted to add to it. Get something out of what? Where you come from, where you struggle at, the same people, if you don't help the people that's coming out of them same places, you ain't did nothing. And I don't mean just having to go in your pocket and give everything you have. You can tell a little man a little inspiration how you got there, that he came from the same place he came. Because as the years go, they don't know you came from there. You ain't been back. You ain't been back. So how they know you from there? How they know? They just hear the stories. Oh yeah, he used to live here? Okay. Yeah. Instead of making a mark in all these places that don't even make sense, make a mark in the place where you struggle at, not the place where you elevated at. Make a mark in the place where you struggle at. Leave a statue over there. Stop worrying about where you're going to go because you already made it. That's why I told you in the beginning when I started, I already made it. That's how I started my first live ever. It wasn't about looking over what they were doing, looking over what they're doing. No. My people's my tribe. They're going to find me. They're going to find me as God will tell it. That's how the story went. I don't got to pay attention to other people, only the people that have that good heart in them. Because a lot of people out here disguising themselves and they're out for the same things, making the same mistakes in different fields and different systems. But they don't see it because they don't want to be part of the cycle. So they'll try to squeeze and dig their way into trying to be like somebody else. But if you don't understand it, what makes you think you can't fall victim to it? Come on, man. The more you have, the better chances you are of getting addicted to something, anything. Could be sugar, anything. And if you don't have a balance in your life and know how to control your life, then anything can knock you out. It's as simple as that. It's just, that's how it goes. I've seen a lot of people, look, that's the reason why we are in a point where nobody wants to lose. But it's not even about losing. You're supposed to lose. You're supposed to lose. If you never lose, then when life hits you and you see that real flash of what life is really about, you don't know where to go. You're supposed to lose. Absorb that loss, understand why you lost, and why next time you won't lose ever again. Losing is a lesson. Winning, you could win, you don't even know how you win. The guy behind the scenes liked you, he liked your girlfriend, and he threw it. You don't know how you win. But you know how you lost. Whether you didn't throw the punch, he hit you harder than you thought, you misvaluated something, you wrote this wrong, you know how you lost. So that's where you're supposed to leave your stamp. Right here where I solved this problem, this is where I'm going to leave my little statue. It's the statue when somebody else looks at it and they read the fine print, they can know how to solve it without going through the same thing. Look, these people, they do not want you to elevate. They want you to work. You think these people want you, I'll give them this, I'll give them that. The more you keep asking for this stuff, the more it looks like you're always begging for it. You're supposed to be worth it. They want to throw the money. They're going to throw the money all over you. You got this. They don't got that. They'll pay anything to get this. That's what it's all about. It's this and your freedom. That's what life is all about. All the clothes and all the extra stuff, none of this stuff makes sense. All this stuff is just this is how we bust it up. This is how we do it. But everything else, all the real stuff that's going to get you to the next level, that's where it's at. When you see the celebrities, they come over, they're going to go at the content creators. They don't got no money. And they don't know their value. When you know your value, you don't worry about who's talking about you. That's a lie. You don't worry about who's talking about you. You're just concentrating on your journey and the people that's going to go with you. It will never even hurt you. How could you let what somebody else says hurt you if you know it ain't you? You going to let them people fool you like that? No way. That's like somebody telling you who you are and they don't even know you. The reason why people could analyze you is because the trail you left out in the world. So when you go out there and act like a clown and act like a fool and act like you tough this and tough that, people start analyzing you and then things get changed. Things start switching around on the blueprint. Like, okay, he's this way, though. That's how it's moving. You start moving things around. Life has many sectors to it. The one people are living on is just the first tier. And that's just like, oh, I got to win war, me versus them. That's not where it's at. It's about building and foundation and keeping a structure that's going to be there forever. We're yet to see it. We've seen companies go years and years and years because nobody paid attention to it. But the minute everybody started paying attention to legacy, that's when legacy meant no more. Because when you pull the life out of legacy and you shorten the time and you have unhealthy food, unhealthy people, unhealthy mindsets, there's no more legacy. Because legacy lives in here, not out here in the world. It lives in here and in here in the hearts of people. The stories you tell that resonate with people that keep going on, nobody can take that away from it because you already heard it from here and it went here. And that's where you hold it. If anything out here could be taken away from you, but once it's in here, they can't take that away from you, even if they take you. So when you connect to people and you put those words out to people, that's when people say they mean something. You can help somebody with your words, and your words can be a helping hand to somebody out there that was going to take their life. So take life seriously. Because a lot of these people are lost. They numb themselves. I told you what they're numbing themselves on. And the stuff that they got to numb themselves in these times is going to take them right out. If you sold a bottle that said poison on it, half of society would drink it because they're confused. They want a way out and escape from what they've been dealing with, not knowing that what they've been dealing with was put upon them because they can deal with it. It's God. A lot of people don't know if they're God or king. They all stuck in this jargon. God, you feel God. If you speak to God and you're with God and you walk with God, you don't have to worry about what they're thinking. You know what's going to happen next. Sometimes you got to close your eyes or act like you didn't know it was going to happen because you're seeing it coming. But they don't know about that because it's like, they still looking in the collection plate. That's the only thing they could. Even if you have money piled up to the ceiling, it don't make you no different of a person. Who are you? When you move the money away, who are you? Are you the person that's going to take that and put it in the places where it helps other people and live out a life that's full of people that's building? Or are you going to be the type of person that's going to put that in places where you buy guns, do this, do that, and form destruction? And that's where the RICO and those type of things happen to them type of people. Because their tough didn't come from this. Their tough came from this. Well, that don't win in prison. You got to have this and this still to win. If you don't have this out here, and you don't have that in there, you're going to lose in both places anyway. Might as well call it quits. Only fools fall into these type of problems. You got to have a different type of mindset to make it through all of this nonsense that's been going on. Even to get yourself past and figure out who are the people that's telling the truth and who are the people that's lying to you. You got to have the right mindset to say, you know what, I do like your music, but what you stand for and the things that you're doing, I don't believe in that nonsense. Once you can separate the two, you'll never have problem like how these other people, when the celebrities do, like they didn't do people dirty, you question it and you don't understand why. No, you're too caught up with the celebrity. Wipe the celebrity part out of it and take a look at that man in his eyes. Don't it look like you're looking down a dark hallway? Well, you're a demon then. Them demons that shake your hand and have their fingers crossed behind your back. You don't know what's going on. Smile in your lady face and tell a lady how they love them and still take advantage of them behind the door. That ain't a demon to you? Tell a girl that you love them and then go back there and drug them. That ain't a demon? That's somebody kids you out there. And don't let these sucker guys out here try to back this guy. Because these are the same suckers that would go to that party. And they put up these female, these abused females that, oh, they did this to me. No, those are abused females too. They need help too. They need healing too. Yeah, she raised her hand at you. She need healing too. Came from the same environment and you don't get it. You still don't get it. You don't realize that the kings that you thought were kings and the people that were going to last out forever, they ain't last out forever. It's the people that had the strongest minds. Don't you see even the guys that come out of prison do 30 years and they come and they still strong and they still have this because they kept a good mindset. So while everybody was talking about them, how they were in there fighting this and that, no, they were getting their mind ready to come back into society and give it another chance. It's not everybody that go in there and lose it. It's only the people that didn't have it outside that when they go in there, they lose it even more. You ain't going to find it in there. You ain't going to find it in there. These guys swear they're from the street and how they got all these street smarts. They don't even know how to handle the streets. Yo, let me tell you, the rules of the streets been broken from back in the day. I didn't have to hear these Alpo and these type of stories online on YouTube. I heard these stories face from my father's mouth, man. I didn't have to go around and this stuff should have never been on YouTube from the jump. None of this stuff. But people do this. They do a lot of this. And they want to tell other people's stories without realizing they have a story of their own that's worth more than anybody else's story. So when they do that and the street stuff get into it, yo, that's the mix. It's over. It's like people know everything. You know, somebody will tell me about my neighborhood like they live here. They ain't from around here. They ain't from these parts. Some of them people you hear shouting out people, those are my friends too. Come on now. A lot of people, they be making stuff up, y'all. It's like a little bit of the truth with a whole lot of lies. I'm telling you, yo. I'm telling you. A lot of these people, they be making stuff up, man. They be sugaring y'all up, making y'all think that like when they come out to these parts, like they doing this and doing that, and how they run around here doing whatever they want. That's not true. It's not true at all. I'm telling you. That's not how it works out here, bro. That's not how it works. You gotta have respect for it wherever you go. I knew that as a youngin'. If I'm gonna be in Brooklyn a lot and I'm running through Brownsville, I'm running through Fort Greene and these places, I have to have respect for these grounds, and I have to have people in these places, whether they family or friends, that it's a certain mutual ground. These people running around here don't even know, they have no respect for people's place where they come from, running around people's place and stomping all over the place. And when something go down, they don't know why it happened. Yeah, you got no respect. You out there disrespecting people online. People seeing you think that just you're gonna walk every day out here. It don't work like that in New York. If you talk about somebody, you got to be able to back it up when they see you out there, no matter what you think is crazy or not. And that type of reaction, that type of action, and that type of energy is what's circling around NYC and these other places, because people don't know if to defend themselves or help somebody because of this, bad connections, social media, throwing up nonsense. You know how many Walgreens stores is closing down out here? Yo, it's crazy, y'all. I'm telling you. New York used to be full with a bunch of stores all over, different diverse stores. Everything is closing down, y'all. Stuff is closing down. It's like all the big spots, they're closing down because it's the insurance and they can't stay in these places. It seems like everything's going to turn online because they don't have enough to. And let me tell you, if you from New York or ever been to New York, you want to get yourself, don't let these people fool you like you're going to have a mansion in Manhattan. Don't let these people fool you. You get a piece of apartment for a whole lot of money out here. Don't let nobody fool you like, oh, they house is big. No, not in New York. No. You're not going to be taking up a whole bunch of space in Manhattan. This is the money making. So they're not going to let that happen. So you got to understand, it's not about how big your space is. It's about what you do with the space that you have. It's not about how much money you have to pay or wherever you got. It's about how you can maintain where you stay. These people are running crazy you can't turn into Mr. Hustle, man, if you ain't got nothing in here. You could hustle and get the money coming from out your ear. If you don't know where your life is headed and what you are as a person, you're just another hollow human being. You ain't got nothing inside. You got to find yourself before you go out there racing after the money. Don't you know that thing raise your blood pressure and throw your mind through the roof? Are you crazy? You letting these people tell you what you should post up and this, it becomes a cycle. I said, after a while, I'm doing my own damn titles, do my own damn, what I want to talk about with my people. Don't let them tell me what I'm talking. I know what I want to talk about. This nonsense that's been going on and the foolishness that they've been showing you guys, acting like they care about you. How they care about you? They didn't care about you a month ago. So why are they caring about you now? Because they got something to sell you. They have something to sell you. That's why they care about you. But not here though. Not here though. You don't care about me. No. You can't fool me. You can go that way because it's people that really, you don't put a price tag on somebody else's mental health. You get out of here. You don't ever do that. Don't you ever do that. You don't call people to come out to no damn seminar to line up to take their ticket money and they got mental health problems. What do you expect them to do? What do you really expect them to do? You're doing the same thing that the other people took the money from. You're doing the same, it's the same blueprint. You do it in front of people's faces. You use your celebrity and take from your own people. Because it's your people that got you there. You ain't gonna run to nobody else they don't know you. They don't know you. They got you looking like a fool whenever you try to jump on the news or on these other platforms. So what? I don't get it. People are so lost trying to be something they're not. You can't act smart. You can only act like a fool that you are. Smart, that's just how you intake. That's your understanding, how you see things, how do you break things down. It's not about learning some math class that in school. No, it's about you, what you know your best, what your heart is into, what makes you you, what makes you tick. A lot of these people, the only thing they think that makes them tick is money. And then they take the money and then they laugh at the people that they came from. That ticks us off. So that when something happens to them now, they, oh, why everybody coming at me? You know why they're coming at you. You know why. The reason why they're coming at you because they never believed you from the first place. They knew you was going to get to a point and do this. So a lot of our people, when they see people, our own people in position and they're doing wrong in that position, you can't get mad at those people for saying, you know what, I'm going to take I can't trust the next one coming. You can't get mad at people for that. A repeated pattern of these same mistakes that show somebody that they don't need to deal with you no more. Look at these relationships. They're lasting 1, 2, 3 months. And they get up and gone. What is that? What type of love is that? Where'd y'all get that from? Who told you that was what it's supposed to be? Who told you that you needed to get a whole bunch of kids? Like, what's going on with that? Like, who told you this? Don't you know it's not, and don't think that they'll put these old school pictures of people with these in these times, doing things like that is only going to put you further in the hole. Life is not about money, but it's also it's about structure. It's about you knowing that the next move you make, you can handle it. Just sleeping around sex, kids all day. They don't make you a man, they don't make you a woman. It just makes you a father or a mom. That's all that makes you. Who you are as a person is who you are before you had sex with that person. Some people make their kids out of fear of the person don't want to stay with them, so they get the person pregnant, not knowing the damn karma going through the damn kid. It's crazy. You got to do better for your people and stop being so greedy out there. Greed is one thing that people don't see. This is taking from people. If somebody say they don't want to sleep with you, why would you do something to make them want to at that point? You don't want, come on, do better than that. Don't look back at people and start pointing the finger how content creators and how false information. Stop giving people the information that you're doing to put out there. Whether they bust it up and chop it up their way, you still went out there and did that nonsense. So stop looking at the content creators and start taking a look at yourself in the mirror. Stop doing that to people. We don't have to question Cassie if she was. We already know. We seen it. And I didn't have to see that videotape out, the news flash to everybody out there. I didn't have to see that videotape to believe it. I didn't need to see the tape. The tape was disgusting. The tape only made me see that more of the demon he was. But as far as what he did with her, I didn't have to see that to believe this. It doesn't take that much for me. I could read that man from a jump. He was lost ever since he started dating the younger chicks, and he couldn't put his son in the spotlight because he was still stuck in it. Man here greater than a gloomy day, and he's demon in his eyes, and you think that man's gonna turn around and help you out? No, he's hurt hip-hop from a long time ago. This ain't got nothing to do with the big hip-hop stars that really respect the culture. No, this is about the execs that took advantage of people, and when they seen the artists getting bigger than them, they had to find some other ways to pull more money out of the artists. That's when streams and all this nonsense came around. Because they knew without that, nobody was listening to half of this music. So now they say, well, if somebody does listen to it, we got to give them something. No, let people go and pick out the music they want, and then see if that artist is the artist you say they are. Because when it came down to the Wu-Tangs, when it came down to Mobb Deep, Nas, Jay, Biggie, everybody, we went out and got that ourselves. We chose to go and get that. We didn't have to, you don't have to throw that in my face. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. So going on to, on another note, as far as just you knowing who you are, don't let somebody put a value on you when you know your worth. Start doing things for yourself and be self-sufficient and stop worrying about what these people tell you are. They don't even know who they are. They still think that Diddy's going to have a cape on his back and fly out the prison. It don't work that way. It's America. Wake up. Crimes and all of that stuff I told you, it's catching up, man. These guys they're not thinking. They're not really thinking. We see a lot of people making the same mistakes. We don't need that in these times. I got a lot of videos coming, man. I'm going to drop some more and give you guys some better energy, but that's just how I was feeling. It's just like, don't you see that? You don't see the moves they're making? And then when things, they feel the drop too. So they're looking for the next thing or the next person to rob or Look, it ain't gonna work. Your time's up. They caught him. Time's up. I'm gonna definitely drop a new video, you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I swear to you guys, I'm hungry. I might just jump back on the live, but I'm really, really starving. Give me some good food today, and I hope you do the same. Make sure you taking some good food. I love you guys, and yeah, enjoy your day, man. Don't if any y'all if anything pops up, don't be scared to hit me up. I'll jump back on here. All right. All right. Much love, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. It's real.